Welcome to Profile, part 2 now of my interview with Bert Cameron, Jamaica's first ever world champion. Last week he shared his journey from Spanish Town to world champion status, but injuries, adversity, and a new calling would change everything. Now he continues to inspire as a coach and a mentor. So we're picking up the story at the point in your life now where you are a world champion and you are headed, this is world champion in 83 by the way, you are headed to and favored to win the 1984 Olympics. This is the Los Angeles Olympics. But injuries would derail that plan. I saw the race this morning, I looked at it, and I hear the sigh right now. Why?
It was one of the saddest time and moment of my life, As an athlete, everybody prepared for Olympic Games. The Olympic, this was the... I believe that I prepared brilliantly. At this time, I coached Colin Thurton in El Paso. We decided that, this is it. Because you don't know what's going to happen 4 more years from now. And I compete with these guys all the time. I know I'm going to win. I even one day do an interview when I was in New York, stating that my name is already written on the gold medal. If anybody else wanted it, I don't know what's going to happen. You talk about silver or bronze, but I'm going to win. That's who I was. And I always knew that I'm confident and I just don't talk it, I do it. When I went out there and run my first race, it was easy going through. My coach now looked at me and said, all right, Bert, I need you to run the semifinals, win your semifinals, so you can get a proper lane in the finals. I turned to Colin and I said, no problem. I spoke to Herb McKinley that same night too. And Herb McKinley gave me the stories of 1948 and 1952. And I went out there, let me tell you something, I went out there feeling so good. I feel it's the fittest I felt in a long time. When I started the race, I felt so good. The first 100 meter, I already caught my opponent, Antonio McKay, right there.
This is the American.
Yeah.
He's on your outside.
Yeah. And I already right beside him. And as soon as I got off the turn and ready to run the backstretch, because the backstretch was one of the most sweetest parts of the race for me. As soon as I went, I feel, boom, like I got electrocuted. And I said, oh my God. So I put the leg back down and start to run again and jump again. I said, what is happening, Bert? And I put it down again and I jump one more time. I jumped 5 times, I think. And all I could hear in the stands is the people just, and the color that I saw was pink and white. In the stands, everybody just stand up and like, ooh. And I said to myself, I can't stop now.
And that's a part of the remarkable part of the race. If you watch it now, and folks here watch it on YouTube, the commentators are talking about the fact at that point that you are far behind everyone. You are expected to be the winner. Yes. But so, what makes you decide to run feeling? Is it a cramp? It is an injury?
Yeah, I thought it was not a cramp, but it was like a slight tear. Mm-hmm. But after because what happened, I start to run now, and when I'm running, I'm damaging the muscle more. I'm tearing all the fibers around it, so even if it wasn't bad at first, the more I put it down, is the more I'm tearing it. But I know that I could not stop. There is nothing in this world going to let me stop, and I forget about the pain. And I start look ahead. I saw the guy in lane 1, which I never forget his name, Elvis Ford from Barbados, ran past me. That means you're in trouble. when the person in lane 1 pass you.
Because those are the lanes people don't want.
Exactly. And I kept on running, and I started to count. I started to count how many, because you have to finish 4th back then. It's not no time. And I started to run, and I find out all the guys that are coming right back to me. And when I came off the turn, I looked up, and I counted. I saw 3 guys in front of me, and I started to look back and look forward and say, all right, I made it to the finals. I'm just hoping now that I can run the finals. When I stopped and I started to walk, it didn't feel that bad. But when I started to go up the tunnel, I realized I couldn't walk anymore. And I didn't scratch from the race because my intention was to come back the next day and run. But when I went down to the track, I couldn't jog, I couldn't do nothing at all.
This is some time ago, and I still hear that sigh. What is that about?
I saw my life flash in front of me, you know. I saw everything that I prepared myself for just gone. It took me a year before I could recover from that injury. And when I recovered from that injury and started to race, the fire was gone. And 88, because my determination and the champion that I was, I came back in 1988 and break the Jamaican record around 44.50.
And would go on at the Olympic Games that year to win silver.
Yeah, I got silver medal in 4x4. And then that was it. I retired in 1991. How
did you would have sort of come to a place of saying, okay, this is it. How did you process that mentally?
It is rough. It was hard because we don't make that transition easy. We used to get in things and people look at us and stopping us on the road and talking to us and let us feel good. I used to love that kind of life. But when I have to get out and I have to go and look at a job or do something, it's not pretty.
I want to talk a little bit about what you actually had to do, but we have to take our first break on this episode of Profile. My guest is Bert Cameron. He's a man who turned injuries into inspiration. I'll be back with you after these messages.